Hi, my name is Johnny, and I will be a senior at the Bay School of San Francisco next year. For my starter project, I decided to build a Simon Says game, and I'm going to show you how it works. So, after doing this, it will show a light and produce a sound, which I will have to mimic, and it does this until I fail. So you see how that happens, and then the buzzer goes off, which is on the back, but I'll get to that later. So when I first started building this, I had to begin by soldering a 10K resistor into the board, and the resistor basically controls the circuit flow from the battery to the LEDs, which are under the button pad right here, are the white buttons. After soldering the resistor in, I had to solder some 0.1 microfarad caps, which act as capacitors, which essentially store energy between a negative and a positive plate in an electric field. It sort of acts like a battery, but instead of producing energy, it simply stores it. So upon soldering the microfarad caps, I had to solder an AT Mega microcontroller, which you can see on the back right here. So the microcontroller receives and sends electric messages from and to different parts of the board. So that's how energy gets from the battery to the LED light, or to the capacitor, for example. After that, on the bottom, I had to solder the buzzer, which once it receives an electric signal, buzzes, and this happens when you lose the game. So that's it for the bottom part of my board. For the top part, I had to begin by soldering 4 different LED lights right here underneath all of this. And then next, I was able to place and solder 4 different battery clips, 2 sets on opposite sides. And I also was able to solder the light switches, or the slide switches, which are right here. This one controls the power, and this one controls the sound. Lastly, I was able to place the button pads over the LED lights, and then I was able to cover it with the bezel, screw all of that in, 4 different screws on each corner, and covered with standoffs so they wouldn't fall out. So overall, I was able to get the product that I wanted, a fully functioning Simon Says game, but I also ran into some problems. First of all, it was my first time soldering, and I often put too much, or I heated up too much solder, and would have to remove a lot of the excess. I also burned myself one time, which was quite painful, but it was worth it. Secondly, one of my LEDs was burnt out before even using it. So what I had to do is I had to remove everything I'd built, heat up the solder on the back side, remove it from the bottom, get the new LED, heat it up again from both sides, and force it through. It actually required a lot of force. But overall, it was a very gratifying project. I'm very happy I have this very simple game, which will provide me a lot of fun.